Good evening. Welcome to episode 6 of the Workshop podcast. My name is Patrick Caleri. Is
I'm Frankie Valentine.
I'm so sorry, my dogs are going crazy. I'm Sarah Billiard.
I'm just gonna say I think I teed it up pretty well. I think they intentionally sabotaged my intro, but I'll ignore it. I'll move past it.
Should we restart and cut that part out?
Your question? No, we're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep it live.
It's like, and this week only Patrick.
I put 1 minute of dead air. Okay, I guess it's just gonna be me.
I'm so sorry. I ruined it.
The digital manifesto.
I'm gonna stretch that out for like 8 minutes.
Just see who keeps listening.
Like our listeners will be like, "Hello? Did it go off? What the hell?"
Oh man. Well, we missed last week. It was a bit of a busy couple of weeks in the real world. I think we had some jobs start to get busy. We had life start to get busy. I drove about 1,300 miles over the course of a weekend. So good times.
Oh my god. School is a doozy, and they think, oh, the teachers, they got the summer off. No, we don't. We gotta go decorate the classroom and get ready for the kids and get ready for no more sleeping late. I don't know why school don't start at noon. I'm not bitter. I get a paycheck. I'm not bitter.
It's fine. They pay me.
Yeah, it's all good.
It's all good. Well, we had a writing prompt a couple of weeks ago, and I think everyone wrote something in response to it.
Yeah, no drinking this week.
No drinking this week, no. Let's see what the actual writing prompt itself was. It says...
I inhaled my cigarette.
Weekly writing prompt. The prompt was... if you could pick any generation to grow up in, which would you pick? Write about your morning on the first day of high school. So both Sarah and Frankie wrote a decent bit about their prompt. I was stuck about 2 prompts ago, and for some reason just decided I was going to do a poem with this one. And I
love that.
Genuinely don't know why. I also realized, because I kind of came up with this in my head while I was driving, that I completely forgot the second half of the prompt, which was the whole high school aspect. But, poetry is what it is, I guess, is where I'll go with that. So who do we want to start this week?
Rochambeau?
Huh?
Rochambeau? No. Be great for the audio list. Okay. One.
Oh, thank God, Sarah's starting.
If it makes you feel any better, Patrick, I also forgot that it was high school. So I did not follow the prompt.
That's cool.
I wrote about a time in the future. And I don't know that it's necessarily a generation that I want to go to or visit or whatever, or grow up in, but a generation that I can see happening, unfortunately. So
right.
Okay, mine's kind of long, so I might stop in the middle. We'll see how I feel. So here we go. Junie glanced at my belly, then at the strap of my book sack pulled tight across it. She had that look like she was about to say something she wasn't supposed to. You got your money yet? She asked, squinting up at my sweaty face. Nah, I said, placing one foot onto the first step. Mama said it don't come in till the 3rd trimester. Government don't want to waste no money on folks that lose their babies. I climbed slowly up the steps, one hand on my belly, the other clutching my books. Last thing I needed was to fall down and make a scene on the first day. Um, Hold on. Oh my gosh, I lost my spot. Okay.
Junie snorted.
Huh? Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
following along. I'm helping.
Mhm.
Junie snorted. Your mama's cold. I shrugged. It's just how they do it, I said. And it was. Having babies now is a side hustle, same as our daddy shrimping and crawfishing in the bayous. Junie ain't even bled yet. Mama said most girls my age ain't. My mama said I ain't gotta do the program yet, Junie said. Once I'm all grown, I'll be working the factory with daddy and JJ. You ain't gotta do the program yet because you ain't a woman yet, I scoffed. Soon we all gotta be in it. Mama told me so. Ain't it hurt though? She asked. Sometimes, I said, sliding into my desk. Oh my goodness. Junie pulled the chair for me like she always did, and she rubbed my belly in soft circles as she sat in hers. We sat a bit in the air conditioner and the squeaking of chairs and desks as girls were finding their seats, bellies big and small. Junie always said she felt out of place being one of the only ones not in the program. When my belly first started swelling, I told her she was lucky to still be skinny and pretty. But the closer I get, the more I think maybe it ain't all bad. At least the baby's something I can call mine. Miss Piper waddled in and held her hand up high to quiet us. Her belly was bigger than all us. She pulled down the white screen and eased into her corner chair with her feet propped up on a wooden desk. Mama told me that swelling's preeclampsia. Told me I gotta tell her if I start to puff up like Piper. The screen blinked to black, then to white, and our history teacher popped up, talking about population cleansing and culture control. 90 minutes later, a pretty blonde started talking about sex and genes. After lunch, a tanned brunette with eyes too blue talked to us about placement and workmanship. She flipped through the slides of happy families, all smiling and holding their new crying babies. I rubbed my belly slow, thinking how maybe one day she'd show Mama and me and Uncle Henry happy and holding our baby boy. What about my son? A girl asked, standing up from her seat, rubbing her belly like I was rubbing mine. Her shirt rode up over her belly, showing her stretch marks and red skin. What's he gonna do? The lady paused her lesson and turned to face the students. Boys of age join the force, she said in her monotonous voice, before slowly turning back to her presentation to continue on her lecture on workmanship. And boys too young or too stupid? The girl, still standing, asked louder, her arms resting on her belly. The lady paused and turned to face us. Too young get taught the same as you, she said, and turned back to her presentation, flipping to the next slide. My baby's got downs, the girl said, pointing at the blue eyed lady. What about him? The lady paused, then faced us and stepped closer to the camera, her sharp blue eyes too big on the wall. Babies with an extra chromosome, she said, or any other abnormality will be returned for testing.
Damn.
That was really good.
That was good.
I like that a lot.
Thanks.
It's funny because we talked, I think, a couple of sessions ago a lot about writing in dialect, writing in certain tone, and not feeling like you or feeling uncertain about it. But I think you did a really good job in this one. Uh, yeah, it didn't come across as forced or anything. It felt very natural to the character who was speaking. So I think it was really good.
Thanks.
The world building for me was really really good. Like I understand why they're doing this. It didn't have to be on the nose or talk about the powers that be. You just know this is not their choice.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah. I wanted to
very
try and do
powerful.
something that was not my normal like MO.
Mhm.
Um it's still like, the type of realism I guess that I normally write, but definitely out of my comfort zone. So
Yeah,
I'm glad y'all liked it.
I liked it a lot.
Very good.
It definitely implies like a lot of machinery outside of frame that like Frankie was saying, something's there and you kind of get the gist. You get exactly what you need to for it to make sense. I have to say, is was the sex in jeans intentional? Was it a was it a commentary on the gene commercial that's going around, or no?
Oh, I wasn't even thinking of that. No, I was just thinking like, um, all these girls are pregnant, and so they're teaching them about biology, basically.
No, no, and that makes sense. I was just wondering because I was like, that's an interesting,
Oh yeah,
interesting
I wasn't even thinking of that.
life imitates art kind of thing.
Yeah. And I like the oh shit, I lost my train of thought. I like that, like, the irony of they're already pregnant. Now let's teach them how it happened. Like,
Right.
that's kind of the schools nowadays. You always see like two or three pregnant girls sitting in the baby think it over class, going home with a mechanical baby. It's not just a grade; it's practice. No, like, why did you fail? Well, the one I have at home was playing with this one and broke it.
Yeah. The one I have at home broke this one, and now it's
Yeah,
dead.
yeah. I had a student a few years ago. She was a senior, and she's come to me. She said, "Miss Franks, I don't think I'm gonna pass." I said, "Why?" And she had her mechanical doll. It's called child rearing class. She had it, and it had a hoodie on with the hood up. She goes, "Watch this!" And she took the hood off, and the head rolled across my desk. She was like, "That's not supposed to do that." She said, "I think I'm gonna have to take an F on this one." I said, "Baby, I think they'll gladly give you an F on this."
That's
She did
funny.
pass though. It wasn't her fault. It was broken when they gave it to her. So she was like, "I get a redo." Well, Patrick, do you want to read yours first because yours is not as long as mine?
That is fair. I suppose that is true. So yeah, I just decided that for some reason I was going to backtrack a couple of prompts to do the poem version, and so Sarah can attest to this. I'm always been a big history nerd. I enjoy learning about it as much as I can. Um, and the theme that's come up in a lot of the different histories that I've read has been that the history that we're reading is always about those in power, those who kind of were the movers and shakers of the world. For the majority of humans in all times of history, things were pretty much the same, no matter what. So it's kind of a play on that, and it's not anything fancy. It's literally ABCB rhyme scheme, but
Okay.
um, it goes something like this. I belong to different times, how oft I've heard me say, the rhythms of the modern world are beating me to gray. The text, the calls, electronic mail, convenient it is true, they squeeze and pry my peace away, disappointment runs me through. Yet were I born neath Roman skies and took the eagle's creed, I could have lived life glorified, or died on Pompey's knee. Perhaps I would be stately laid when bloody war was done, yet what would I be fighting for? Wealth and power to a one. But if I were a Frenchman made, knew the revolution's cries, I'd spend my days in ponderance, perhaps soliloquize. Survive I would on wits alone, the favored libertine, till fate I met beneath the smile of Dr. Guillotine. In Minamoto's faithful band I'd find my majesty, though selfsame actions do reveal more honest travesty. The samurai of every age are shields and spears and swords for those who can't revenge themselves, mere butchers to their cores. Now comes to end our grim survey, the truth laid plain to see. I belong to different times, no time belongs to me.
I
Ooh,
like that ending.
So pretty much
yeah.
all of it came from the ending. Like I thought of the ending before I thought of anything else, and I was like, okay, I got to do something with that.
I love
Whoa,
it.
I
That's
like
really
that a
good.
lot.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
And I
like
thank you.
the
love,
train of thoughtness to it. Like, it's not
yeah.
focusing in on one generation. It's everything. Could be anywhere at any time, and it doesn't feel, it doesn't get stale. 'Cause sometimes poetry narrows in on one specific thing, and okay, 15 lines later, we're still talking about color of that goddamn door. But
And I feel
but
like
the
for
way this
you have to be able to do that in poetry. You have to be good at poetry itself. Like you got to be really good with playing with the language. For me, I'm more just I like the simple rhyme schemes because I can do it over a broad topic and play with it that way.
yeah.
Yeah, and it doesn't sound like sing-songy or anything. Like I think sometimes you can get lost in the rhyme scheme, but like the lines where you said the favored libertine till I met the fate beneath the smile of Dr. Guillotine. I love that.
I thought that was I was like okay, yeah, perfect.
Yeah, like it's not like normal like sing-songy rhymes. I really like it and it tells a good story.
Good. I'm glad you like it.
Yeah. Very good, very good.
Yeah.
All right. I guess that leaves me.
All right, you're
Uh,
up.
mine is called The New Normal. There's a hedgehog here. Okay. Um, and a manatee. Ah. Mine's called The New Normal. It is futuristic because I wasn't meant to be here. I was meant to listen to the Beatles in space. Anyway, um, I will just start. I don't know how far I'm gonna go. I'm definitely not gonna finish it. Maybe to the first break, which is how I tell time stories. Alright. We wouldn't see the sun for 3 more days, but the powers that be insist we keep old hours, Earth hours, as the Zensers would say. Earth had been uninhabitable for centuries, but the higher ups thought traditions were important, keeping us human. My alarm went off at what they decided was 7 o'clock. The sound was my friend Roger yelling incoherently. We recorded it before he left for boot camp last year. It'll help you not miss me so much. He grinned, took my phone, and started screaming in the middle of the library. He laughed as the librarian shushed us. Sorry, he said through a laugh. I hit snooze and turned over. I had dreamt he was home again, still his silly self, smiling and joking, healthy, alive. But just as I was making my way back to him, my door opened. Amy, you up? You gotta get ready for school. I felt Mom sit on the edge of the bed and put her hand on my arm. I know it'll be difficult without him, but you have to at least try. I rolled over and stretched, letting my inner ostrich out with a roar and a screech. When I finally felt nice and stretchy, I smacked my lips and smiled. Thank you, Mommy. I'll be ready in a bit. She smiled weakly. She was friends with Roger's mom and watched her best friend tell her baby goodbye. She couldn't help her, couldn't fix it like she always did. All Mom could do was cry with her. Well, if you need any more time, I understand. I don't feel good about today. It's going to be okay. Miss Denise would want us to be happy, to go on. I put my hand on her shoulder and squeezed. To be people again. Mom nodded. Her eyes were puffy. I could tell she was having a hard time letting me leave the pod. But I had also seen the letters from command, the bills piled up with large red stamps across them, and I knew we both had to get back to life today. Upon walking into the new pod building, paid for by the Intergalactic Federation of Education, after parents complained that their children were coming home with space poisoning, a stupid way of saying oxygen deprivation because of the crappy ceiling of joints. Everyone turned to look at me. Every pair of eyes had the same question. Is she going to freak out again? I sat down in my first class for the day with my pad on my desk and my pen ready to take notes when I got a notification. Amelia Doggart, front office immediately. I sighed and pressed the blue button on the corner of my desk. Amelia Doggart, you have been called to the office by Principal Jeffers. You may proceed. The android at the front of the class spoke in monotone. We live in space, in pods, go to school on space stations, orbit a sun that was never meant to be ours. Yet we just couldn't figure out How to give the robots personality. AI never really caught on to compassion or dignity, only facts. I picked up my bag and headed out the door when the girl in the front row, a blonde named Jamie, grabbed my wrist. Is it true? About that boy? I pulled my arm away and left without a word. And if you'd like to read the rest,
I
it's
like
in our
that.
Discord.
I'm excited to read the rest.
I did, and I'm curious. I want to ask questions, but I don't want to ruin it for
We,
Sarah. So,
You can ask questions. That's fine. You can ask questions.
Sarah,
I'll still
earmuffs.
read.
No.
well, I'm just curious. So, I just to me, it really the end of the piece is what really kind of, not that it wasn't interesting to begin with. Of course, I was engaged with the whole thing, kind of figuring out what happened to Roger. But it's the, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's an implication of there's a relationship that
hmm
Roger had. Okay. Is
Yes.
everyone's age being kept intentionally vague at the beginning to draw that out? Because I definitely didn't expect that. Because to me, he's the same age, around the same age as the speaker or the protagonist.
He's a few years older than she is. The
A
only
few,
reason they're friends is because their moms were friends.
their moms were friends. Okay, and
Yes.
their moms, I'm guessing, are probably mid 30s or so.
Late 30s, early 40s.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and so that, yeah, that aspect of the implied relationship is what really drew me in, because there's definitely a lot of conversations to be had, I guess.
Yeah. 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 But he was in the military. He was of age.
Yes, and
So
no,
he was
no,
not,
exactly,
yeah.
and that's, again, and that's what makes it kind of engaging, because it's not, it's, yeah, that's a subject that itself is fraught, regardless, especially
Yeah.
between friends, like the mother and Denise, I think is the name.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
that I would be very interested to see how you're gonna draw that out, because that is,
Yeah.
I feel like, has a lot of potential for really engaging storytelling.
Yeah. This is very much a first draft. If you click the link that is in the Discord, there are notes on the side from Kit, our silent partner. So wait, what is this note? Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't. Kit asked the questions I need to be asked to make my writing cohesive. Like, what the fuck does this mean? Who the hell is this guy? Why does everyone need a name? You sure you want to be a writer? Yes, yes, I do.
Sometimes you just need a reminder. No, but I really liked that.
Yeah,
That to me was one of the, every piece, I think, has a point that kind of draws the most interest and really kind of like just grabs your attention. And to me, it was that, only because it added a dimension to this character that I hadn't really. I thought I kind of could predict what was going to happen, and his
yeah,
trajectory. And so to have that, it's not necessarily a rug pull, because it's not like you lied about anything, but it was kind of like a,
no,
wait, what? Kind of
yeah, yeah. It's
I'm gonna
definitely
read
a
it
who.
before I go to sleep tonight because now I have to.
Just gotta know intrigue. But yeah, it very much was, and also the first half and the second half were written about a week apart.
okay.
So yeah. So if there are any inconsistencies, it's because I didn't go back and reread what I'd written at the beginning. Not that that's an excuse.
And see, if you were a published author, you could just say, no, that was an intentional part of the lore.
Yeah, yeah. You don't want to know what's in the sausage. Just know that it's on your plate, okay? But yeah, I've always had this idea of like humans living on a space station, and like because Earth is no longer inhabitable. I'm a Doctor Who fan.
Yeah.
Nine Nine is my doctor. Fight me. But I love the whole thing where they actually went. Spoiler alert for the very first season of New Who. which came out what 15 years ago.
Well, if it was Christopher Eccleston, yeah, that was a long time ago.
That man's nose was so big you could smoke a cigarette in the rain. I love him so much. You give me a tall, goofy looking, skinny guy with a large nose, I'm fucking there, man. Like,
That is
David Tennant,
market share.
yeah, David Tennant, he couldn't protect his wife and children with that nose. If it rained, they'd be soaked. He'd be dry.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, no, just the episode where him and Rose go back and actually go forward and watch the destruction of Earth, that really kind of set me on the path of where did all the humans go? Why is this piece of flesh that's just a brain and some moisturizer the last human? What the hell happened? You know, and I was
What are the intermediate steps between this and that?
yeah, yeah. Fucking the only thing left of the Earth is L'Oreal. Come on now.
Honestly, stranger things have happened at this point.
Yeah. This episode of Doctor Who, sponsored by Skin So Soft.
It's interesting how much sci-fi stories still do rely on being rooted in real human emotion, though. It's like as the zanier your subject becomes, the more you still have to find a way to make it at its core about the human experience. Like, and that's something that I liked, Frankie, about your piece. It's the interplay of the familiar, what you're talking about, and then the pod and the just talking about and throwing in sprinkling in the vocabulary that is a little bit zany or strange.
Guys, my worst fear just came true. My
What?
stress ball popped.
Oh
My stress
no!
ball popped.
I didn't know what that was. I was
There's
like,
glitter fucking everywhere.
exploded.
I got glittered.
Oh no!
No.
Poor Patrick, trying to give me actual advice and compliments, and I'm just over here throwing balls everywhere.
This is. I'm glad that we got to the bottom of what it was, though, because
I saw something explode and I was like, we're about to lose Frankie.
here we just didn't address it. Sarah and I were just confused for the rest of the show.
I'm gonna be finding sad little Orbeez everywhere. Oh,
Yeah.
my desk has herpes.
Oh.
I'm so sorry. As you were saying.
No, it was just no, yeah, I like that. It's a balancing act, but it is fun that the more you read zany and out there sci-fi and fantasy, the more you realize, oh, this is still just about people being people in a different setting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you kind of got to do that because you have to have a gateway for your audience to connect with the guy with a horn coming out of the side of his head, you know?
Right. Yeah, if they can't connect, if they can't relate to a character, like they're not going to be engaged at all. They're going to be confused the entire time. Actually, they might read it, but they won't
They're
understand
not
it.
gonna. Yeah.
Step
I always
step one on how to make a male alien species attractive. Make them musky. Number one. That's the most important thing. Just always mention the musk.
You smell that? There's a new character around here. Smells like a sex scene. So sad. I don't know what to do with my hands now. I'm just.
You have to find a stronger stress.
Right? I mean, high school's bad, y'all.
That soldier deserves to rest.
Oh, and the sad part is, I've had him since I taught English as a second language in 2017. So, like,
Dang.
tonight was the night. Tonight was the night.
Gave up the ghost.
Can only handle so much stress.
He glittered himself. It was horrible.
I'm just impressed that you held on to a stress ball from 2017.
I only found it a week ago.
Guess it got dry rot.
found it and then you
Oh,
killed it.
that leads us to our next topic: murder mystery.
I did love
Topic
me some Hardy Boys.
super relatable.
I do. Getting back to the human emotion of everything, I do like when they apply Earth and human morals to outer space. Like
Yeah.
this, like this dude just traveled 8 galaxies. Okay, he's fucking hungry, and all he wants to eat is some clitomorians or whatever the hell they're called. Give him a kid nobody likes. Give him the school bully. Give him an old guy. I don't know. Like, like hornhead guy gotta eat, man. Calm down.
See,
Pepper's on hospice.
I feel like there's a ton of potential in that kind of concept for turning it on its head, making it sci-fi horror, and just describing any species that comes into contact with humans. Don't make it clear that it is humans. Just describe them enough as aliens. But like,
Yeah.
yeah, that'd be terrifying.
The menu too. Electric Boogaloo.
The menu too.
I've yet to see the menu one. All I've seen is the clip of her eating a cheeseburger, and I'm like, don't you have some fucking chess to go play? I don't.
Queen, you should be gambling.
Right? Throw your cards. The X-Men. No. So, all right. Well, short one this week, guys. No.
All right, that was it.
I do have a writing prompt for us next week.
All right.
Because speaking of superheroes, name a superpower you'd love to have. Would you use it for good or for personal gain?
Okay.
So, because I like the idea of sometimes the villain is right. like like Thanos wasn't far off, right? I don't know. I didn't see it. Like
Thanos was forward thinking, just maybe not.
in a backwards way.
Thanos had the concept or had the problem right. He just did not spitball any other solutions outside of his preferred ones.
Like, come on, Danny. Maybe I don't know. Education. Maybe demilitarize. No.
Please put up a
No.
suggestion box before you just default to genocide.
Yeah. There are other options, my guy. I've seen them.
See, I like the idea of not even that the. I think one of my favorite villain tropes is that not even that the villain is right. It's just the villain doesn't necessarily care, or it's not that they're just not. They're not necessarily wrong, and they don't care. Where it's just like, okay,
Yeah.
your only problem with me is that I'm not on your side. I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm gonna do. Like,
Yeah. Like,
Uh,
can we
I
maybe
think those are
get
like
a
my
cup of
favorite
coffee and
villains
yeah.
because, like,
yeah.
when you write a villain in any or the antagonist in any story, I feel like a lot of people, especially in the like romantasy genre, because I've been getting into that lately. I feel like it's always just awful people with no redeemable qualities, which I know people like that in my life. Like, absolutely, they exist.
Mhm.
There are some awful people, but not every not every story is gonna have the worst type of villain that everyone hates. Like, why hasn't he died yet? Why hasn't people just killed him
Yeah.
yet? You know?
Yeah.
But whenever you have
Oh,
the villains that are just like, I don't give a fuck about anything or anyone, and I'm gonna do whatever I want to do, it's always just so nonchalant, and they make it through the entire book, and they end up being my favorite character. Honestly, is that bad?
I think
I
they like to. I think one thing that's kind of admirable about those kind of villains is if they stick to that through and through their
Yeah.
character arc. It's like it's not as satisfying if the villain's like, "Oh no, I was wrong, you were right." It's very satisfying even if they do lose. If they're like, "Okay, I mean, I'm not going to regret what I did because this was always what I was going to do. It's who I am.
Right, yeah. Like, I had read it was like a little novella. I don't even know the name of it. I've been listening to so many books. And it was about a guy who was a serial killer, and which is that is bad. That is a bad thing to do.
Objectively.
Because fuck
But
Kellogg's. No.
he was killing people who were also bad. So it's like, is it that bad of a thing? And he had redeemable qualities. Like, he was a genuine person, other than the fact that he killed people and got away with it. But the entire book, he was killing people. And then whenever he stopped killing people, he was still thinking about wanting to kill people until the very end of the book, where he killed someone
Old
else.
habits.
And I'm just like, honestly, I
Honey,
love it.
I think you accidentally listened to a podcast where they summarized the show Dexter.
I don't know how to tell you this.
just throwing that out there.
I like to imagine Sarah's reaction to him killing someone at the end of like that meme. It's like, well, you got me there. It's like, what
you, you had me in the second half, and you still got me.
Yeah, I might have.
I mean, but to your point, you're right. It's. I was watching a show, and one of the most compelling parts about it was like one of the foil to the main character, one of the main villains, is not. It's weird because he's sort of a psychopath, but not like every now and then they give him humanizing characteristics, and every time they do it, you're like, damn it, why'd you do that? Like, I don't want to know that this guy has some good in him because you want to view him as just a 2D black and white evil character, but it adds so much to the narrative. You're almost dreading a final confrontation because you're like, well, I don't want either of them really to lose. It's a complicated. It makes for much more engaging storytelling, I think.
Yeah.
I will say that the movie The Lion King Mufasa, it did kind of, not to humanize a freaking cat, but it kind of explained Scar. Like, come on, man, your freaking parents named you garbage. You gotta. His real name is Taka. It means trash. And these guys like, we're gonna nickname him Scar, and his mom's like, he doesn't have a scar, and he's like, not yet. Like, I don't. You can overhumanize them. You can, and I'm guilty of it in my own writing. Like, I had a novel I'd been working on for years, still kind of working on it, and I have two brothers, and one of them is just flat out freaking evil. And then I was like, you know what? He has to have a reason. He has to have a why. And I started writing the why, and I was like, man, this is such a better story than that other shit. And I started working on him, completely abandoned the good brother. Didn't give a single shit about him anymore.
You're boring
It's
now.
just me and it's just me and Dell against the world right now, man.
I think the path you've got to walk with that is, I agree to a point that you have to give reason. I think a lot of people fall into the trap of feeling that the backstory justifies villainy, and I think it's. I think you have to walk the line of saying, yes, they've got their crap in their history, but then you still have to embrace the villain aspect as well. Instead, I think a lot of things kind of try to do a rope pull at the end. It was like, he's been good the whole time. It's like the Anakin Skywalker thing. No, he murdered children.
Yeah.
It was very rough, very complicated. He had kind of like the icon of sin corrupting him. That's all well and good. He still murdered children.
Yeah.
So,
Like, well, his mentor cut all his limbs off after he murdered children.
harp
Cut
on
his limbs off too. God. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That reminds me of that book that I posted in the Discord earlier. I think it was
Yeah.
last week, maybe. it was called Unloved? Love? I forgot what it
Unloved,
was.
yeah.
Okay.
I downloaded it. I
It's
listened
been
to
a
the first
long ass
chapter.
week.
It was my
You're
favorite book
welcome.
of all time. What was it called?
I
But
enjoyed that one. It's by that person that writes,
it's Tuesday and it's been I just I had a 7-hour meeting today, okay? That's what I'm
Oof.
gonna blame it on. But the main characters in that book, they were so good and the character development was so good throughout the entire book, but they didn't develop in a way that was, I guess, like unattainable in the real life. The um the male character, his dad was a serial killer, and his why am I reading all these books about serial killers? Jesus.
Is there, Sarah, is there something you want to tell us?
I think she's
Please
blinking
don't, because
Morse
that
code.
makes us an accessory.
If
I
you
am a
Well,
serial killer.
don't know Morse code, so
I talk way too much to be a serial killer. And I'm not medicated right now, so I would absolutely kill someone and be like, guess what I did
on the
guess,
podcast.
on the podcast.
guess why I'm wearing a different shirt than I was when I left the house this morning.
We had to stop after 7 episodes because it became evidence.
And this week's tier 1 on Patreon, you get photographic evidence. And for Orbeez.
You get to testify at the trial if you're a super patron.
And also,
I think I'm the only person who's killed someone here today.
and also, all of the money is going to be going toward my now bail and legal fees.
We are nowhere close, is all I'll say.
Honey, right now with this amount of evidence, you're getting a public defender. We ain't wasting another dime.
We're not going to waste that money.
Tier 2 goes on to Sarah's commissary. So she can keep cigarettes in Big Bertha's pocket.
We've stopped trying to defend. We're doing damage control now.
We just want to keep you comfortable.
Well, anyway, the male character, Cassidy, his entire childhood, he was told that he was a bad person because his dad was a serial killer, and that the like serial killer gene can pop up at any time. And so he spent his entire life, he's in his late 20s, avoiding people. Like, he had never like been with other people other than his mom and grandpa, who are now dead.
Ooh,
And
that's not a good sign.
right, yeah. And he meets this girl. Obviously, it's a love story. They fall in love, and he's terrified the entire time. From the moment he meets her to the end of the book, he's just terrified. And it's so good. It's so good.
That sounds
And
interesting.
if you're going to read it, you should
I
listen
dig
to
it.
it because Joe Arden is the narrator and he has my heart.
That
So
does sound like an interesting kind of take on that genre.
yeah. And at the very beginning he talks about like genealogy and the psychology behind serial killers and the history of other serial killers, and I'm just like, oh my, I want to write like this. I want to be able to do that
Yeah.
and be able to have consistency across the characters like this author did. It was so good. I think about it at least once a day.
Well, I'm not a big
Are all of the
romance person, but that sounds worth checking out.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
it's good.
Are all of the chapters narrated by a different character? Because that is like my bread and butter. I love that. Just the same story, but from different POVs.
It does change points of view. It goes from the girl character to the male character.
Okay.
Yeah, and both narrators
It's
are
like,
really good.
yeah. It takes a lot of focus to be able to tell the same story from different point of views and still get the same point across. That
Yep.
always
Yeah,
when it's done well, it's like, holy crap, what did I just read? And when it sucks, you're like, I'm not gonna make it past chapter 3.
When it sucks,
Yeah.
yeah, when it sucks, you just decide, okay, I'm done with this book. You get just that to me is the mark of somebody that is kind of they're level 2 of writer until for lack of a
Yeah,
better word, like they have enough
yeah,
of a mastery of consistency of style tone across multiple different installments that they can. I think some people do have the raw ability to start there, but I think they're few and far between. I think it helps to first write in first person and then write consistently in third person, and then you can start to be
yeah.
like, okay, I'll experiment a little bit in
Yeah.
one way or the other.
Yeah, for sure.
But never, never, ever, ever second person.
Oh my god, I wrote a story in second person.
Ew.
That
I
it
mean,
won
oh,
first place in the mosaic thingy. I forgot the name of it.
really?
Yeah, I was very proud of it.
I wonder if they were
You
just
probably did it well.
tense that they were like, okay, yeah, it's art, I think.
Yeah,
This person
I'm
seems to
guessing you
work
did
really
well.
hard on this. Let's
Yeah.
pity first
How on
place.
earth? How on earth did you know how to spell all those words? But just there was a book, I bought it from the Dollar Tree, which should have been my first warning, and it was on my shelf in my classroom, and I just grabbed it at random to give an example. I was just gonna read something, and it was in second person, and like I'm in the classroom and holding the book open, and I read I read the one paragraph out. I'm like, that's weird. I'm like, y'all do this thing. I'm gonna read this right quick just to make sure I'm getting the right point. I read the rest. It's a sex scene. I'm like, oh no!
In second person?
Yeah, in second person. I'm like, I'm not doing any of this. What the fuck?
I feel attacked.
Like, thank God I had the foresight to stop like a sentence and a half in, and the kids were like, "Why you keep saying you?" I'm like, "No reason."
Okay, yeah, that's a
It
little
was
creepy.
Yeah, it was, and I was like, "This is going not even to my house. I'm gonna donate this."
This is going
It's
away.
at the Goodwill. It's at the Goodwill right now up the street. I don't even remember the damn name of it, but I was like, no, no. It went in my purse and then it went in the giveaway box. Like,
The whole book was in second person?
yep, start to finish. I opened it to the middle and I was like, no, and I flipped a few
That's
pages, still in
crazy.
yeah,
It
People,
and
it
it
is
was
so hard for me to write in second person, and
yeah.
the only reason I did is because it was like a really like close to home story about
yeah,
she might listen to this, so I'm not going to say who it was.
it was about a friend.
It was about a person in my life, but
Fair.
very close to home, and it was like a really traumatic situation, and I wrote it in Nick Maneri's creative nonfiction course. And I was
I
like,
love that course.
yes. I was like, this is just super therapeutic. So I'm just going to write this in second person because then I won't be experiencing it. And
Right.
it worked out that way.
Nice. I actually heard from him today.
Really?
Yeah, after the first episode went up, I sent it to him, and he messaged me today, and he was like, "Oh my god, is this your podcast?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do it with Sarah and Patrick, and if you want to listen, you can." He's like, "Awesome, congratulations!" So,
Oh my
hi
gosh.
All
I
right.
love him.
The fans.
I like, ugh. I, he's back at Nichols, right?
I don't know. I'm not entirely sure.
Okay. Yeah, cuz like I think my junior year I was supposed to take one of his or junior or senior year, I was supposed to take one of his courses and then we got an email that was like, by the way, Nick Maneri moved to fucking wherever the hell he went. Um
Wherever the fuck.
Notre Dame. He went to Notre
Somewhere.
Yeah,
Dame and I was like, "Excuse me? What the fuck? You couldn't
that
say
was my
bye?"
that was my last semester, and I was actually going in to get some advising done, and I bought a copy of his novel, and I was gonna get him to sign it, and they're like, "Yeah, Nick's not here anymore," and I'm like, He's my fucking advisor.
Right? Who's going to advise me?
Like, someone call the riot. I need help.
I need advisement.
Yeah. I was so I cried. I was so upset. I loved him.
I didn't think much of it. I just got him to write me a letter of recommendation to get into my master's program, and then I got my schedule for my first semester, and he was one of my first professors at UNO. So he did
Oh,
online
nice.
courses for
Okay.
UNI. Yeah,
Okay.
and then he was on my thesis committee.
Oh,
Nice.
interesting.
Actually, the head of the department at the time, Emma Walsh, was meant to be the head of my thesis committee, but he dropped out because he had to go film a little TV show called The Big Door Prize, based on his novel, The Big Door Prize. It's on Apple TV and it stars Chris O'Dowd. So, plugs for Milton.
I'm gonna go watch it.
somewhere on my computer, I'll put it in the Discord, there is a photograph of my computer on the bed, and because it was an online class, the professors would record their discussion of your piece. And my cat Shrimp, he was only like 3 months old at the time, and he's laid across the computer, bopping Milton on the face every time he spoke. Like every time his head would move, Shrimp is just like bop 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 bop. So I have it somewhere. I'll find it. But I sent it to him, and I was like, if you feel any phantom boops, it's Shrimp's fault. Y'all, there are fucking Orbeez everywhere.
Oh, yeah, you're going to be finding those for a long time.
I keep stepping on them. Very squishy down there.
It's the Stressball swan song.
You're
I'm gonna take a sip of my water, and it's gonna be.
You're gonna be finding glitter all over your house for the next rest of your life.
Well, you might want to move if that's. If...
Find it there.
All of my Buddha beads are on my desk, and there's just like glitter on like half of them. The kids are gonna be like, "What the hell is on your arm?" Like, don't worry about it.
It was
Buddha wanted to be pretty today.
I was too. You guys are stressing me the fuck out.
No, tell them it was because it was at a party, and then when you finally get called in to like an administrator, but like you keep telling kids it was at a party. It's like because I didn't want to tell them the truth because I broke a stress ball.
Do you want to squeeze a snowman? Oh no, I killed the snowman.
Wait, was it really a snowman?
Yeah, look, I'll show you.
It was at one point.
Yeah. Now it's a sad man. Wait, I gotta milk him a little bit so he don't get.
Oh, God. Alright, I guess this is switched over to the After Dark version.
Like,
oh,
like a light bulb.
Oh,
yeah.
God. Oh, no.
And if I squeeze him, he poops. Oh, no, that's the floor. Okay. This episode brought to you by whatever the hell kind of rubber that is. Please, don't trust it. Okay.
I don't trust any rubber or plastic. We're
just going to let that live in the air for a minute.
That is my...
I'm so glad that I was not the only one.
All right, I do trust. I will trust rubber over plastic, but hey, I'm being vindicated currently with all the like forever chemical things that are coming out. So, not that I can. So it's just kind of like I'm miserable, but
I feel that. I can't wait till I'm medicated. Like, I'm going to be medicated, and it's going to be a totally different Sarah on these podcasts. Like, I'm going to be able to think at a normal pace and not trip over my words. Like,
dang, you're about to beat all up.
Sarah's going to show up next week in beatnik glasses and bongos. Hey, man, it's just world building, man.
After 2 weeks of being
you're the one.
Gonna quit. Be like, I think I'm better than this.
Did you guys hear the one about the serial killer? He killed a guy. and I'll just have to go, oh, hey, that comedic timing is fucking on, man.
Ron.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're at the 55-minute mark. You can say fuck again.
Nice.
A bunch of my students know that we do the podcast, and I was like, yeah, but don't go listen to it. I say the F word a lot. And they're like, I'm going to listen to it today. I was like, you don't know what it's called?
That's how you drive engagement, baby.
Right?
Like,
Next week
Like
we're gonna have like 18 million views. All your students are just gonna be going to the parts where you say fuck.
There's going to be a compilation on YouTube, Miss Frank saying fuck. It's 10 hours long.
it's like, how is it 10 hours? We don't have 10 hours of content.
They'll turn it into
At
a
one
little
point-
song.
Yeah. Fuck, 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 fuck. Here's a beat for you. Hey!
Hey,
So,
I don't understand why you wouldn't use expletives. It's just a little like seasoning in your language. It helps make it helps
right?
emphasize in a way that could not otherwise be emphasized.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's
Words
not
are
like
only
I
bad
said,
because you
hey!
make them bad.
Mm-hmm.
Hey. Some of them are bad, though. We can't say those.
Some of them.
There are some that are. You can't. Yes, that is
Oh.
true.
Speaking of, not words, I have scatterbrain. Going back to the different chapters for different characters,
Uh-huh.
Yep.
there is a book by Melvin Burgess. It's the first book I ever read that did that. And the UK version is called Smack, but if you want an American version, it's called Junk. And it's about teenagers who run away from home at 14 in the UK. And it was the first time I'd ever seen the word fuck in print. And I was in junior high, and I was like, this is my personality now. But I highly recommend you looking into that one. I do believe
Okay.
it is on Audible. Don't quote me on that.
You said it's called Junk?
Yeah, if it's the American one, it's Junk. If it's the UK one, it's Smack. Like, the innards of the book is identical. It's like
Okay.
going from Philosopher's Stone to Sorcerer's Stone. It's exactly the same, except no one's a turf.
I think fair. I think
Oh, did I say that? Not J.K. Rowling, the woman with the really masculine name. Not her.
I think the first time I saw the word "fucking" print was when I was reading Stardust by Neil Gaiman, because that I feel like that at the beginning has enough of a fairy tale vibe to it that you don't realize it is an actual adult book. So
I had to read that for my Neil Gaiman, Neil Stevenson class, and I was all excited because I wanted to watch the movie. And I was like, Ben Barnes is in this movie. He's in like the first 10 minutes.
yeah, I know. Right?
Like,
Was it? How does
and he was on.
How does it hold up? By the way,
The movie,
yeah.
like, not very well.
Okay, that's what I remember.
Yeah, if you want to enjoy the film, do not read the book first.
Yeah.
That's why I'm always movie first. I saw all the Harry Potters before I read any of the books.
Yeah.
Well, not the first one, and that's only because I was a victim of the book came out way before the movie, and I was first in line to get it. And our
fair.
teacher read it to us. Yeah, our teacher read it to us in second grade because we were in the SFA program. All my '90s babies out there, success for all reading. You remember that?
Yeah.
And it was our first taste of transitioning from class to class, and that was fun. But she read it to us, and then the second book came out. She started reading the second one to us, and then she went on maternity leave. And I think I told this before, but the new lady came in and she was like, "Y'all, this book boring. We gonna read Captain Underpants." So, and then I just sat in the back like, who cares about a guy's underpants? Voldemort's coming. I will say this about Voldemort being a villain. He did give a shit about Harry's education. Never attacked him to the end of the school year.
No, I mean he's like,
Yeah.
dude's learning. I mean, it's not fair.
Yeah.
You can't take that from him.
Granted, it was mid-finals, but he knew Harry had it. It's fine.
Honestly,
And he had Hermione.
he was actually just like, you know what? I'm gonna give him the real final. Okay, this is a real world application.
Like, he might have failed the shit out of Transfiguration, but he had defense against the dark arts in his goddamn pocket.
To his I love how that's such a plot point. Harry's life is under threat so frequently that by his 5th year of school, he is on par with adults in terms of self-defense. Like,
He winds up teaching the goddamn class. I'm like, come on, man. That'll be me.
man, oh man.
Update: Melvin Burgess is not on Audible, but I can get the ebook.
Okay. Kindle will read it to you if you have on accessibility on your phone.
Yeah, but is it like a monotone?
Is it bad?
Oh yeah, it's definitely like.
Yeah.
And then they run around the corner, and then
I'll
they
fall
went up the
asleep
street.
on my hour-and-a-half drive.
That's it.
And then
How'd
I
you
won't
die?
be here next week.
Jim ran away.
Imagine like listening to Romantasy with that kind of voice.
Oh my god.
And it was a magical moment.
Oh god.
Imagine it being bad romance, like the really shitty written ones from TikTok. Like, her breast was like 2 large moss-covered mountains with no moss on them. What did he just say?
I just saw a video of that girl on TikTok who reads the really shitty lines from romance books.
I love her. Yeah.
And one of them said fat girls are only fun to look at, not be with.
Yes.
Something like that. And she was like, fuck you.
I think it was the same thing where it's like having sex with a fat girl is like having sex with a donut, and I'm like,
what in the
no! Why is that your point of reference?
you need
This one, officer.
First of all, never going with you to a Krispy Kreme. Second of all,
oh my god! People are gonna be like, "Why did this episode just stop?"
yeah, I do love that. Is one of my favorite things about because it can happen even with someone that's pretty talented with writing. Like every now and then, you stumble across a sentence, you're like, "Oh, your editor failed you there." Really?
I'm an Umbrella Academy fan. Weekly Umbrella Academy drop, and I like to go to Pinterest and look at scenes that never happened. And there's one where Five comes up to Vanya and he's like, "So I read your book while I was in the apocalypse," and she's like, "Yeah, I know. I'm sorry." And he's like, "You have a typo on page 63. You're missing a comma." Like nothing about the drama. He's just correcting her fucking grammar.
There's a I can't let this pass. I will hold on to this line till the day I die. My wife was watching Grey's Anatomy, and one of the characters asks the other. It's like an intimate scene, and they say something like, "If you had $1 million, what would you do?" And the character's answer was something along the lines of, "I would build a time machine." And I looked at my wife and I said, "Is he implying that the only reason people have not built a time machine is due to lack of funds? Because I don't think you didn't answer the question."
I got some fucking news for you, bro.
Wait. Okay. Thanks for answering the question I didn't ask, but really, what do you do with $1 million?
I won't tell anyone I won the lottery. There'll just be signs, rolls up in the DeLorean.
There's sometimes I'm like listening to my audiobook, and like one time there was a scene where the girl's like sitting on her bed, and then like not even 2 seconds later she's like, and then I like hit the door, and I'm like, how the hell did you get all the way across the room? And I'll have to rewind it to be like, did I miss something, or did your editor miss something?
Captain Fantastic's daughter can stretch too? What the hell? I think he's the stretchy one. Is Elastigirl? I don't know.
But both, actually.
Okay. Well, guys, we have officially hit the 1 hour and 4 minute mark. We've been a little over this week to make up for that gap at the beginning.
I blame Piper and Coda.
Okay.
Never doing the intro again.
Sarah, tag, you're it. Okay. And our writing prompt for next week: name a superpower you'd love to have. Would you use it for good or for personal gain? I have been Frankie Valentine. Who have you guys been?
I'm Patrick Larry.
I was previously Sarah Bouquet, but now I'm Sarah Billiot. Ah ha ha.
And this, haha, you're married. I was originally Julia Franks, but I didn't like her. She had bad breath. So, all right, y'all. See you next week. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.
If you sign up for our Patreon, you get a free Orby. Bye.